Welcome back to B.A. Showoff, the Dance Lifestyle Podcast. I'm Becky.
And I'm Alexandra. And whether you're a dance coach, dance parent, or a dancer yourself, this is the show for you.
We're talking with Kashsra Garrett from the Miami Dolphins Cheerleaders. Let's tune in to where we left off last week. Okay, so question. So if I am a high school cheerleader, and I have a dance background, but my big focus is cheerleading, what are my chances of getting onto the NFL team?
I'm not going to say never. But I would say it depending on your ability to adapt and learn, I'd say 50-50 because you're going to get into a space where there are this happens and I see it happen at auditions a lot where your audition panel is not just going to be just the director and the choreographer or the assistants, whoever works with them. It is a huge panel of like 7 to 8 judges, and they're all over the map. So maybe we've got a makeup artist, a hair and beauty person, maybe we've got like a talent exec from somewhere else, or a lot of times it's going to be someone else that just works in the organization. Maybe it's our community director, because these, once you get the job as an NFL cheerleader, like you're an ambassador for this, so you're going to do a lot of appearances in the community, so like we like to include them in there. So maybe that cheerleader might be that person's favorite. And they're going to score them great and high, and they're going to really fight for them when it comes down to time to like figure out who advances in the audition process. So I don't think it's never, but I do think that it's that entertainer side of it. So if you can come and if you're a cheerleader and you don't have a dance background, like we're not out there doing like fouettes on the field. Like that's just not it. We're not going to do aerials. We're not going to do flexibility. Obviously does play into it, but like typically cheerleaders, will have they're quite a bit of flexibility. But it's like if you can learn choreography and if you can keep people keep a judge engaged while you're out there, you'll make it probably pretty far. Now, when it gets to the solo round, that's when the dancers excel. But if you can find the right choreographer that can really make you look like you were doing something, it can kind of get in the mix, and you'll find yourself like, oh, how did I get here? And I think a lot of times people will see like, how did that person make it to training camp? And it's like, well, they're part of a puzzle piece. Yeah. That as a director and staff, you're looking at and you're like, I need to fit in this amount of people. We have how many spots? Maybe I need just a bubbly, bright smile, and we go through an interview process too still, and I love that. I think that's really important. And you sit and you talk to them, it's like maybe they were just so well spoken. One of the things that I was challenged with this year, and I'm working on it myself, is learning Spanish. And I was encouraged to like really look into our Spanish speaking cheerleaders, and if there's someone, and it is kind of on the line, like if they speak Spanish and this, so it's a full skill set, not just dance. And I think sometimes people, especially if they're coming right out of high school or studio or college dancing, they're like, oh, well, I was the best on my college dance team, like I should be able to make this team. And it's like, well, maybe not. Maybe we need this skill set, because I've got great dancers. Everybody's a good dancer. Everybody's beautiful. Everybody's fit. But like this skill set, for example, speaking Spanish, we've got an international game in Madrid. Last year we had activations in Mexico City 2 or 3 times. We had, in one weekend, we had people in Madrid, Mexico City, and a whole Super Bowl party here at Hard Rock on the same weekend. And I had all of my Spanish-speaking cheerleaders that had went already and in one. And it was like, how do we rotate? And it's like, I had to send the same one back to another. And it was like, we really need to figure out how we grow this. Yeah. And so if I'm a high school cheerleader and all I've done is cheer, but I've got rhythm and I can learn dances and stuff, I'm not going to like count myself out, but I also know like what I'm up against, where I need to lean into, and what are my strengths, and how can I highlight that going into this. Like, I'm obviously a chatty Cathy, and I tell everybody all the time, I talked my way onto the Dallas Cowboys. Was I the most talented dancer in the room? No. Could I do it? Yes. I pride myself in learning choreography and retaining it quickly and performing it back. That was what I knew I was good at. So I was like, if I can just make it to that interview room, I gotcha. But and that was what I wanted. I wanted to make them feel like they've known me forever, because then they'll send you out to talk to the community. They'll send you out to talk to. I can also be polished when needed. I like to cut up and have fun, but I can be polished when needed. And so now I'm going to get to go be on those USO tours and talk to soldiers that are 18 years old and this is their first deployment. I'm going to get to go be on at a governor's luncheon and sit with the ownership family and speak to them, like how that is the kind of, you have to be that well-rounded. So it's like, yes, I can do the dance side of it, but you also really need to work on those other things too. So if I'm a high school cheerleader, I'm going to start looking and seeing what do I have that I can offer in all these other areas, not just the dance, because sometimes that will actually push people over the line.
Yeah, no, that's good advice, because I think that they don't really see that part of it. They only see like dancing on the field. I could do that, but there is so much more that goes with being on these teams. You are representing the Dolphins or whatever team that you're on, and some of these kids don't see that.
And I'll tell you another thing, there's so much prep in the world. There's pro prep and prep POM and power prep and PP prep and poo-poo prep and prepping, and you can prep for everything, but they prep for one style. And so it's like NFL style and like pro style cheer is not that difficult. It's big bouncy arm motions. You can make it look more than it is, but then they lose the technique side of it. So like I'll tell people all the time, like, you got to stay with your like technique classes. Like you got to keep training your styles, not just POM style. So they get out of college, maybe they don't make the team that year, and then they just do prep. It's like, okay, you're prepping POM. That's great. Like you got to prep everything else. So they don't do an interview prep. They don't figure out how to make themselves marketable. They don't really take like their technique classes still. So then it goes to an audition. They're like, well, why didn't I do it again? It's like, well, you've only been prepping for the field style, and you're right, that's what they see. But that's not the hard part.
Yeah.
The hard part is everything else.
Right.
That goes into actually making it to the field.
Yeah. And when you do the prep classes, do you teach all that? Like, do the kids have the opportunity? And I call them kids, but they're really not kids. Do the dancers have the opportunity to like learn all the different aspects of being on the team and what that would be like? Or do they just go and take a regular, POM class or dance class or whatever?
Most of the preps end up being just POM field style. I try to bring in a variety of instructors throughout the prep season. Like Johnny taught one. It was like a real little spicy, palmy, but it had like technique in it. Brooke came and taught one, and it had, we were on the floor, and she had, leaps and turns in it. And then brought in Flaco Luna, and he did a little poppy hip hop fun number. And it was so, if you go to all of them, by the time you get to the last one, you're going to have all of these styles. We do a little Q&A at the end, and we kind of talk about some things. But then we do a fall and a spring audition intensive. And so it's like 4 hours in the fall, and then we do another one in the spring that's another like 4 or 5 hour day. And we do hair and makeup. We do, what should you do when you walk into the room? How should you be introducing yourself? Like a lot of times I always tell people, they'll always go up to at the end of class and thank someone for class. And it's like, then they'll say like, did you see anything that I could work on? I'm like, this is the first time I'm looking at you. Maybe if you'd walked up at the beginning of class and, got here early and said, hey, just want to introduce myself. I apologize to the
court.
I'm so sorry. Walking up at the beginning and introduce yourself, say, hey, my name is Tina, and I'm from XYZ, and I'm so excited to be here and take class. Thanks. And you go back, okay, well, now I know Tina from this person, this person, this person. So I'm going to do it in groups. I'm like, oh, that's Tina. You're killing it, Tina. But you could be cleaner with your feet placement.
You make an impression.
Right from the top, not till after class.
Yeah.
Because now you said thank you, and you asked me if I said anything. I was like, I didn't see you.
Yeah.
So, or I saw there's 60 people in these classes, and you're like, I can barely see past my nose.
No, you definitely don't know if they improve or what they need to improve on. Like maybe they come 4 times, and now I've seen you 4 times. Now I could tell you from the first class to this class, this is what you need to do. So
I understand like travel's hard too. So like I get it. If you're not from and you're not down here like making it there and stuff, but I tell you what, reach out. There's 28 girls that are on the team right now. Shamelessly send DMs.
Yeah.
Hey, you probably won't see this, but I'd love to get your feedback on this. Hey, part 2, I went to this class. Like, do you mind watching? Like, these gals have all been in their shoes. Like, they're gonna know. And I try to encourage our team to like help the preppies or whatever you call them, or people that are wanting to audition and stuff. So that way, it's like I might not be able to get to all of you all, but like there's people that we just employed for a whole year, if not more than that, over and over, that can help and provide feedback. So it's like, I think that they can also give insight to, yes, this is what you need to do, but you can also work on this, and this to get ready for an audition.
Let me ask you because I know that this is a lot of, dancers that are looking at this, what they want to know. How different is what you experienced on DCC and what really happens versus what they see on the show?
I'm going to say that goes on probably outside of just DCC. It's like what you see on social media, even for these teams, versus what actually happens. For me personally, the show I was on is very different than the Netflix show now. The show I was on was very much like, we want to make them look, I don't want to say they wanted to make us look stupid, but like they did. And it was very much like, I mean, you can watch my episodes. It was very much like, it was just like a different, it was from the audition. It was really from like Kelly and Judy's perspective towards us. And like how we handled, how we reacted, and how we did the things that they were given to us. Mm-hmm. And it was very like, these dancers are just here to make this team. This is, they're going to cry at this. They're going to cry at this. It was their, like, I got called out by my weight on TV. Like, season 10, they rolled out a scale in the middle of it, put me on it. And I was like, oh, I'm okay. Okay, yes. You look a little heavy tonight. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I do. All right. You just don't say that now. So, like, that's a huge difference. And but that was real. We did that, and then they showed that on TV. So it was very much reflective of the same. My later, my fourth year, we were still filming the CMT show, and it was a bit different. It felt a little bit more curated as to what you saw, and I really kind of stopped watching it because I was like, I lived that. I don't want to watch it back. So what I like about the Netflix show is that it showed the opposite perspective. It's now from the auditionee and the cheerleader out. I mean, you get to see Kelly and Judy's and staff's perspective, but not in it's almost like equal parts, right? Where instead of the last time it's just like, this is how it is, and then how are they reacting to it. And I like that it shows I want to say like the training side of it, where these dancers are coming from, what they put into it, what their families put into it, how they got there, because that is where you build and I don't want to say respect, but that's where you build like the understanding of where they're getting to, which is why I go back to say like NFL cheer is not the way, it's not what it is. It's not what it was 10 years ago. Like it is a different body type, and it is a different dancer style, and it can be a career out of it, and instead of just like something that's fun to do on the side. And I personally, I've enjoyed the benefits that we've all got to see from the Netflix show, not just cowboys and things like I think it's really sort of blew up pro cheer, not just NFL but NBA as well.
Well, I think in general the dance world, the pro dance world, everything has blown up in the last 5 years. It really has. Like starting off with college dance, how it UDA just blew up. I'm pretty sure like right after COVID things just got crazy, and then now with the pro dance world and NFL and NBA, like all of that, now people are starting to understand it and respect it. Yeah. And believe that, it's not just,
pom-poms on the field.
Yeah, it's a pretty girl just standing there.
Yeah. There's so much more to it that deserves the recognition.
For sure. And that's been something I've really had to like almost like be okay with, is not being like, but they're amazing and they're talented and they can do this, this, and this, and they're really good and they're smart and they have, this person has this degree and this person does this full time and this person does like, it's been nice to be like, people will come and be like, do you have, like, is this really what, I'm like, yeah, go ask them. Like, it's just,
you don't need to do the justifying.
I don't have to do the justifying anymore. And it's so nice because sometimes I feel like even as a director, I still feel like I had to be like, I work in entertainment. And it's like, okay. And I'm like, I work in entertainment at Hard Rock Stadium. I work in entertainment for the Dolphins. But like now I can be, not saying that I was ever like embarrassed or ashamed of it, but like people, I work for, I'm like the director of Miami Dolphins Cheerleaders. Like, oh, have you watched? I'm like, have I watched? I have lived it. Been there, done that. Slept on an air mattress for 2 months trying to make a team. But when you have that kind of like understanding of it, and then you see other people have an understanding of it as well, and have a little bit more respect on it, it's like I joke and was like, put some respect on my name. But I'm kidding, because it's not about that or the validation, but it's refreshing to see, and it's nice that it shines a light on how hard a lot of these dancers work just to get to that point, and that it's not just a hobby. Like, it's a part-time job, okay.
It's a part-time that should be full-time.
It's a part-time that should be full-time.
Which is, I think, what every dancer feels. For
sure. I mean, it's the same thing when you work. I feel like if you work in the industry, or if you are any kind of commercial dancer or anything else, and a teacher as well, it's like we all think that it should be, and we love it. And actually, I had this conversation. My boyfriend, he's a dancer as well, and I was sort of struggling at work, like just feeling like I had to like why is everybody telling me what I feel like I have, my experience has like worked so hard to like tell itself for, like, again, this is my 10th year in the NFL. I've been on the field, I've been in uniform fittings, I've been on media days, I've been on photo shoots, I've been on tours, I've been on all these things. Like, why am I feeling like I'm beating my head against the wall trying to explain to people that I know what I'm talking about? And he's like, you're probably one of the few people that work in that office that have been doing what they like, have been doing the job that you're in since you were like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's true.
You're right.
Yeah.
Dancers are some of the few that if you make it as your career, you've been doing that job since you were a child. Like, that's what you've been
prepping
doing.
for it.
Talk about having experience.
Having experience. And we're all like, I was getting sized.
I had a resume since I was 3.
And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, that's so true. Because, but like it's been an interesting thing now where I feel like, oh, the Netflix show actually shows people outside of our world what it is like. And so that's been a really good.
Yeah, and you can't blame people for not knowing what hasn't been taught to them. Like, they
100%.
only saw, oh, look, they come out and they just wave and they're smiley and they're cute and they're pretty. They don't see all the behind that happens and all that is expected of these, dancers.
And especially too, back to the skills that it takes outside of just dance and technique. A lot of times, like when players can't go to appearances, they'll send cheerleaders. Like, the cheerleaders are there as a buffer. And I tell people this, like, when we do our appearance seminar and stuff, I'm always like, you are the hands and feet of the organization. You're the front line. If like the Miami Dolphins they're going to be somewhere, or the Dallas Cowboys are going to be somewhere, or Miami Heat, like, you see who they send out. Mm-hmm. It's always the dance team and the cheerleaders and the entertainment group. Like, you're the fan-facing ambassador. So it's like, really, when you think about like growing the fan base, engaging the fan base, and developing the brand, the face of the brand, it's your entertainment groups. It's going to be your cheerleaders, your dancers. And so I think sometimes they see you there. They see the cheerleader there, and you're right. It's a pretty dancer. They're going to make everything look so effortless and easy. They walk in, their makeup's beautiful, their hair's beautiful, blah, blah. But then they don't see like the actual asset that it is. Where it's like, no, I just left my full-time job. I touched up my lips in the car, come out, I put my face on. And maybe I go back in the car and my boyfriend breaks up with me. Or I find out that I can't pay my rent next month. Or something tragic happens and I lose my job or my family. It's like, well, don't worry, because I'm going to go put my smile back on.
Yeah, you'll never know it.
You never know it. And so it really is this like juxtaposition of like, the super suit, how can you go on and be on this thing and do these things and then go back to it? So I think you're right. It's like you don't blame them for what they don't know, but it's also, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's so that they don't know, because you are the reflection of the brand, and you're the outpouring of the brand to the fans and how to grow that. But I think the show actually accurately depicts what it's like, more so probably now than the other. Than the CMT show. I think it's on Peacock now. Mm-hmm. I'm not telling you people this to go watch it, because if you do and you see me on there, my eyebrows say they're sorry, because they are the first 2 seasons, they are non-existent. I was like, good thing I learned how to get those back.
I'm sure it was great. So obviously there's been a big growth in people interested in pro dance, NFL dance. What are some things that I think a lot of dancers who are trying to look to do this are thinking? What are some things that you as a coach look for in somebody that you're trying to put on your team? Obviously there's a physical, side to it, but then there's also a talent side to it. So how do you find the balance, and at what point do you say yes or no?
For me, and I try to be very like specific. I'm like, okay, what's my goal? Okay, what is the end goal? I need a team of 28 dancers. They need to be able to dance outside in the heat for 4 hours. So physical and their fitness and their stamina, to me, that's like blaring. I'm like, because I danced inside in a covered stadium with AC, and I'll tell the girls now, I'm like, I don't think I could do it, because I'm just walking around the field and talking in the headset and doing the things, and I'm sweating, pouring down places I didn't think it could pour down.
Yeah, that happens in Miami.
And in Miami, the hair, your hair.
The hair. So same thing. A lot of people come up and ask me about their hair, and I'm like, you need whatever it does best outside is how you need to fix your hair. Don't force it. But anyway, so but what I try to look for is, can they do it? Can you be outside for 4 hours and not pass out, not just be gassed and look like you're straining? So the physical fitness and their stamina is first for me, typically. And then the second part of it is, do you have that, like, what is that, like, it factor about you? Like, what draws me in? And it's not necessarily going to be probably the most beautiful, like, physically or technically, but it's like, you've just got an energy that draws people to you, because energy is transferable. And I always tell this story. I didn't want to go. Training camp is outside for Dolphins, and it's right next door. So they do a staff day, and they make everybody wear T-shirts, like the same T-shirt. And if there's one thing I hate to do is match. I hate it. And like, I love being on a dance team. Like, I love matching my uniform, because it's like, we're hired to wear this, but I don't want to put on a T-shirt and match everybody. And I hate it. I hate T-shirts too. Like, I just don't like it. So anyways, they make everybody wear this T-shirt, and I'm pissed off already because I don't want to match them with this T-shirt. But then we have to walk over there. I'm like, I've got dancers on the field in 6 days. Like, I've got to figure out how to do. I've just got things I need to order and stuff I got to do. Whatever. We're walking over here now to watch training camp, and it's hot. I don't want to match anybody, and they're getting fans now, I think, but they didn't have fans in the seats or the stands that are out there for the outdoor field. And I was like, holy, here we go. Okay, so I walk over there, and I'm like, kind of like, I don't want everyone to sit here and watch this. Well, the doors roll up, and I'm in a black shirt, and you can see everywhere that my bra is not, because it's sweating through it, and it's running down my face. And I'm like, okay, are we done? Like, I'm ready to go back. And then the doors roll up from the indoor facility, and all the players come out, and like, they put music on. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, I've watched this 100 times. Like, there aren't even cheerleaders here. I'm like, what? I'm kidding. But anyways, they come out, and this one guy comes out, and he runs like full speed over to the stands, and he's like, let's go. And he's just like, and he picks up 2 water bottles and slams them together and starts like pouring them in his mouth. And I was like, I stood up and was like, yeah, let's go. Like, I was like, but the difference was his energy and his entertainment ability transferred out. And I was like, that's what people in the stands want to see.
Yeah.
When it's the fourth quarter and we're down and stuff, like, they need something else to now bring everybody up. So it's like all around. So I'm looking for that person who they're just energy and their excitement to be there and their willingness to learn, and when the music comes on, they almost turn to this different person. I'm looking for that. And so a lot of times in those prep classes, you'll see those people like, yeah, it might not be a style you like, might not be a song you like, but they're going to make you think that is their favorite song. They love it.
And that's something that can't be taught.
No. And you can tell people, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yeah.
Same concept. And so, like, those are few and far between. So those are going to be like my standouts. Like, and if they're the full package and they can do, whack their face with a kick, and they've got turns and they've got technique, that's awesome. But like, it's that that energy shifter. Who walks in the room, because they're gonna not only make my job better, but they're gonna make everybody around them better. Mm-hmm. And when you've got a team of 28 that's coming from jobs or other things, and then they're stressed and you have to be turning 18 to audition. So when you think about that age group to like either college, post-college, most of them are graduating college, most of them are just starting their like first real job out of college and stuff. Like the stress level is different. They're living on their own. Maybe they moved here from a new city. It's like they're already under so much stress. Now they're coming to rehearsal every night. We don't leave until 10, if not later sometimes. Some of them might wake back up and be at kids camp at 8 a.m. if they need to. And so it's like if you have people that are great dancers, but they got negative Nancy attitudes, well, yeah, like, okay, that's great that you can turn until eternity and kick your face and your leg goes behind your head and you've got all these leaps and skills and stuff. But it's like, you're going to make my job hard. Please don't do that. We have enough headaches as directors and coaches. It's like if the team can do anything, it's just to like be easy and mesh, because once they're flowing, I'm flowing. I'm like, oh, now we're all flowing together. This is like ocean waves. We're coming in and going back out together. I don't want it to be like a typhoon or whatever that is. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that, who brings the energy, who has that, and they might not always be the one that remembers the dance the best or, you know, looks the most like an NFL cheerleader, but they're going to make you believe that they are.
So for dancers, because you just went through the whole process, you just got your team. So for dancers who are looking at doing this for next year, what's your advice? What should you start doing right now?
Right now, I'm watching all of these teams and I'm researching. So most teams have either finalized their teams. They probably did it back in June, if not May. A lot of teams are kind of going away from training camps, and they're going from finals to here's your squad, which I think is probably how I will eventually get to. And then I think NBA auditions are ramping up. I've seen a few of those kind of start to kind of get finalized and done, and I think what heat's coming up. So if I'm trying to figure out what's next for me, whether it's NFL or NBA, I'm on my phone. And notifications are turned on. I'm watching these teams. I'm watching what they post. I'm watching how they post. I'm watching the types of dancers that they post. Because I think that was what best prepared me for Cowboys, was that I had the show to watch. Mm-hmm. And so same thing with this Netflix show. Like, you literally get a front row seat. You get to see the costumes. You get to see the types of hair and makeup things that they're using. I'm also going to start reaching out to people. I'm going to start reaching out to current cheerleaders. Hey, you just made the squad. Congratulations. That's so amazing. What did you do? Like, and if that person can't turn around and help out somebody else, you know, that's shame. They should be, you know, mm-hmm. we could have all used a helping hand when we go through the audition process. Yeah. I know, myself included. I would have loved to have known more than one person. Maybe that would have been great. So anyways, I'm starting to really like look at what's happening in their world. And then I'm going to start to like see, like, okay, are they doing any fall clinics? Are they going to be anywhere? Where are they going to, like, because that's where I want to make sure that I'm there.
Would you reach out to the coach? Like, do you, or is that like a waste? You know, because I know that like dancers from high school to college, they reach out to coaches and stuff like that. But I don't know how for the professional, like if they should be reaching out to you or if they should be reaching out to just the actual dancers.
Sometimes I've had people reach out to me, like they'll get my work email, and it's not hard to figure out. Like, you just literally can look on the Dolphins thing or whatever and it pops up. But it's not hard to find. But those emails get lost because they're, like, I think sometimes people forget, like, this is a full-time job. So, like, I do 9 to 5, and then I also do 5 to 11. So, like, I'm there all day. But a lot of my inbox gets filled up. So then if I don't see it, it's gone. Mm-hmm. So that's why I always say, like, I tell some people, I'm like, if you, and then, you know, I have built up a following. And so sometimes my DMs even get flooded. So I tell people, like, if you DM me and stuff like that, put, like, especially if I meet people at a workshop or something, I'm like, I met you at and then put the name of the workshop. So that way if I'm seeing it, I'm not like, ugh, who are these people? Or something like that. Like I'll know what it's for. I don't think if it's something you really want, send it. Just send it. Send the email. Do the things. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna get remembered. Like I had a lady, I don't even think she wanted to try. I think she just wanted to take a class. She sent me an email and she couldn't get her registration figured out. I think her name was, I can't remember what it was. Anyways, and I was like, if she shows up, like, I'm going to know exactly who she is, because she was emailing me like, I think I signed up for this class, but I don't know. And then I get another one. Figured it out, got my email signed up, but I want to change it to this class. And I'm like, well, when you get here, I cannot wait to meet you. Like, I cannot, like, like it was.
You have definitely made an impression.
So, but if it's something you really want and, be professional about it, but shamelessly send the email. I will say, if you send an email though, make sure your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted, because there's it is a written proof that either there's a grammatical error. Don't be a lot of times this isn't just a team that people are trying out for. You're applying for a job. You're on payroll. You get paid for rehearsal. You get paid for your appearances. You get paid for your game days. So when you think about, like, your uniform is property of the Miami Dolphins. When you post on Instagram, it is that is a brand that the Dolphins own, and now your Instagram has intellectual property of the Miami Dolphins all over it. So now I'm looking at, and if same thing, if I'm reaching out to people, I want to make sure that I'm buttoned up ahead of time, because what I'm going to do is I'm not going to just email somebody and give them class information if I don't know they're real. So I'm going to go and start looking up people. I'm going to get on Instagram and start looking you up. Make sure that everything is buttoned up before you start reaching out, because that's what I'm going to do. Or I'm going to tell my coordinator, like, hey, I got these 3 emails from these people today. Can you look up these people? And I might even reach out to your coach.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, the dance world's small, and it gets smaller and smaller every day. Because now coaches are starting to, like, all know each other. And most coaches are coming from teams or families or whoever else, and now it's like, well, all the coaches are from the same organization and group. So now we all know each other. Well, I had this dancer. Oh, I saw that they went here. Do you remember, and I'll send a text like, how were they? Were they great? Or are they really interested? Or is this just something they're thinking about doing? And so I really tell people, like, you got to get it buttoned up first, then reach out to the director or the coach. Maybe play it a little safe and reach out to the team first, or a current, or maybe it's an alumni that you might know, or someone like, for guidance first. But if you're going to reach out to the coach or the director, I would say I'd have my everything buttoned up, zipped up, the bed is made, and then I'm going to then ask or talk to, because I feel like that's not that it's, I don't think it's taboo. I just think that you're really exposing yourself, because it's like, all right, here I'm coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and so any last minute, because I know that dancers have, questions, and they're not sure exactly where to go, like what should be my first step, or where should I start looking for anything. Like I tell them, make sure that you know about the team, because if you don't know about the team, or if you don't know the history, or if you don't know who the people are, you're not going to get very far. So advice like that they should be doing now to start prepping for, I want to do this next year.
I think it's it goes back to kind of what I said about just like, you're spot on with that. It's researching. It's making sure that you know the team that you're going after. And I've learned that more so since I've been there. I used to think, well, I don't know why people do, or like why these teams do what they do. And then you go to these other cities and stuff, and you train in those cities, and you're like, oh, that's why they dance that way. I had a hard time like learning like why I felt like sometimes like the Dolphins cheerleaders I was like, why are their arms just everywhere and stuff and things? And then I'm like, oh, these are industry classes that they're training in. Cleanliness is not it. It is style and performance, because they got that in the bag. So then what I see happen is I'll see dancers from other cities and stuff that they've clearly been training there. They come try out, and I saw this at prelims actually in semis, where I was like, they're great. They've got it, but they're getting outperformed and energized by people that probably have never held pom-poms in their hands in their life.
Well, and we're also like a big Hispanic community, and that comes with a lot of flair and like a lot of sassiness just naturally.
And I think that like competitive audition is bred down here, not in a way that's like you have to outdance these people beside you. It's like you got to go out there and show off.
Yeah.
It's a confidence, and it's like put it out there. If you're going to walk out there, go out there and do it. And I've really enjoyed that and kind of grown myself from it. So I think that it's looking at the city and the place that you're trying out for, or you're wanting to, and really researching the studios around there, the classes that are around there, people that are training in that area, because that's, I feel like what happens is you actually get to the audition and then you're like, well, I thought this is what it was, but it's not. Now that I didn't even make it to finals, but this person did. And then, so not all prep programs are the same, is how I'm going to say it. Whether it's with the team or a private prep consulting coach, or a group of prep, no one prep is the same. So if you're going to prep, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Prep with a bunch of different, because that's the eyes and the ear, that's the people that you're going to be in front of. So my starting point is to look at the team that I want to be on, research it, look at the dancers they already have, look at the dancers that maybe were there a few years ago, research the team, look them up on YouTube, what is that like? And then I'm going to start looking at the studios around there, watching those videos on Instagram, those styles. What are they training in that area? And can I see that? Maybe when I go take a prep class, I can get there a day early and take a class here. Get myself into the community of what it is and what it looks like, because I feel like that's also like an unknown. And then my next step is going to be reaching out, shamelessly send that DM to a current and alumni, like ask them like, hey, if you have anything coming up, like, will you let me know? 9 out of 10 times they're going to post it on their Instagram that they've got clinics and stuff coming up. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna look for fall clinics, because there's gonna be a few of those. Some teams will do them, some teams won't. But I'm gonna look for that, and then I'm really gonna start to, like, I feel like you need to do like a 9-6-3, 9 months out. Okay, I'm 9 months out from when they typically do auditions. I need to start really looking at these teams and getting a game plan together. What do I need to start working on? 6 months out, I need to start planning the trips. I need to start booking my flights. I need to go and see. If it costs me every dime I've got, it costs me every dime I've got, but I'm going to get there. And then 3 months out, I'm dialed in. I've been to a prep class. I know what they have. I'm now practicing in my audition outfit. I'm running this every single day. I've got my own pom-poms that I practice with. I'm speaking into my camera. I'm filming myself talking. Hi, my name is KaShara Garrett. I'm X amount of years old from this town, and I went to this school. Like, you've got to be able to introduce yourself and do those things as well. So I'm really trying to like hyper focus that. So I would kind of go 9-6-3 and weasel it down from there. Start big. Where do you want to go? What are they doing? Narrow it down with, okay, I'm going to go to these few cities. I'm going to go to these few teams. I'm already reaching out to these few people. And then 3 months out, all right, this is where I want to be. I've got my outfits. I've got my things. I'm going to go back one more time and try to really nail down like my spot there. I think that that's probably the best way to kind of like funnel yourself into an audition.
Yeah. Well, I think, I think it's going to be a great year for you. I think, seeing the team that you have and the amazing dancers that you had try out, you're going to have a great year. So I'm excited to be at a game and see them.
Yeah, y'all got to come.
Yes, we'll definitely be there.
Make sure that it's a game that it's like, it needs to be at least like a night game. We got a few primetime games this year. I know y'all are used to the heat, but let's see. The seats that I get are like half and half in the sun, half out. Yeah. So y'all have to come, but you might get in the shade, you might not.
Oh, no. Well, we're used to it, so.
Yeah. So that's fine. Well, they're lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm excited for the year, and I loved going and judging. I had such a great time. It was so awesome to be there. The facility's amazing. The dancers are great. So it's just going to get better and better for you.
I'm excited. Sure. I know it probably feels a little different, for some people, but I'm like, a little bit of Texas, a little bit of Florida.
Oh, I think it's great.
It's a good little mix.
Perfect. I think it's
great. It's a nice little combination.
Thanks. Breath of fresh air for sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us today and for all your advice. I'm sure there's a lot of dancers out there that they're going to be listening in and maybe reaching out to you. So, hopefully you don't get too many people, but hopefully it's good dancers.
If you do, I listen to you on B.A. Showoff. You have to put it real big, because if you didn't, then I'm going to be like, this is weird. Go on.
Well, hopefully we'll have you back after the season's over, and then maybe you can compare notes on what the season was like. That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
I want to hear y'all's notes for the season.
Oh, for sure.
Well, we definitely will.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on our Be a Showoff with Kash. It was great. We learned so much. It's going to be a great season with the Dolphins.
And if you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to click on our link tree in our bio and fill out our Google form.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.